Are the Yankees still World Series contenders? Let's talk about it. So coming to the season, the Yankees weren't seen as big threats. Fans were questioning whether or not they filled the holes in shortstop and catcher and first base, with the Yankees re-signing Rizzo, adding Jose Trevino, trading for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and even Josh Donaldson. Teams like the Blue Jays and the Rays were ranked above the Yankees in most people's, World Series favorites. And after a first week that was pretty shaky, the Yankees had a lot of more people on their back criticizing them and saying these aren't, they made the wrong moves. But after that, they absolutely dominated baseball, ranking first in the MLB in runs per game, first in ERA, first in a lot of different categories. And the Yankees were running away with it, had the best record in MLB by far, in the AL at least, with the Dodgers faring right behind them. But after some injuries, after some players falling off, and after the All-Star break, the Yankees have been abysmal. Just absolutely terrible. And I'm here to ask the question, are the Yankees still World Series contenders? So the first batter I want to highlight, not really highlight because I'm talking bad about them, is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. A guy who has been marketed as a high contact guy, high on base guy, plays elite defense, hasn't done neither of those three things with the Yankees. And even, worse in his past 2 days, his slash line is 235, 296, and 296 over the past 30. If you know me, I want the Yankees to call up Peraza badly. We see great teams call up their young guys all the time, but the Yankees are so reluctant to do so. And it's confusing to me. Just give him a chance. Because it's obviously that this isn't working. Now I want to talk about Gleyber. Over the past 30 games, has slashed 180, 206, and 279. A guy who, throughout these injuries, has had to bat in the first five slots. And that production in the first 5 slots is just not going to work for a World Series contending team. And that's absolutely abysmal. Now the third guy I want to talk about hasn't slumped as bad as the other two. But he carries more weight than almost anyone in the lineup except for maybe Judge right now, and that's DJ LeMahieu. Over the past 30, or his past 15 look even worse. But over the past 30, he says 244, 309, and 350. A respectable 309. Not what you're looking for out of DJ LeMahieu. You expect him to bat near 309, not get on base at a near 309 clip. But this is a guy who's supposed to bat in the first 3 slots in the lineup. Now with Benintendi being so hot and being the prototypical guy in front of Judge, the Yankees have had to slide DJ LeMahieu down. But I mean, we need DJ to hit better, to just get on base at a higher clip. He's one of the most important guys in this lineup, one of the most essential pieces to the Yankees' run. And if he's not batting around 290, 285, 300, then the Yankees are not going to have much success. And the last guy I want to spotlight is JD. Guy who we traded for is one of the highest paying guys on the team. A guy who's played a lot in the past 30 games due to injuries. He's slashing 213, 309, 306. And he's walking at a good rate, but he's just not hitting the ball. He's not having too many good at-bats. He's had a good series, but he just hasn't played good as a whole. I can respect his defense. His defense has been great. But the Yankees' main issue is in defense right now, which, is good. He helps out with that, but the Yankees need people to hit right now. He just hasn't done so. 213 is just not good whatsoever. Guy was batting the first 6 spots of the lineup. You can't bat 213. I'm sorry, that's just not bad. There's no fluff around Aaron Judge right now. And it's the reason pitchers are able to walk Aaron Judge. You're making it, these players batting so bad is making it even easier for pitchers to pitch to Aaron Judge and to the rest of the lineup. Because you just have to attack these guys and then walk Judge because no one's going to knock him in. Now, the guy I want to talk about now isn't part of the slump watch that I just did. It's Waldo Cabrera, a guy who the Yankees called up. I said they've been very reluctant, not reluctant to call guys up. I've been trying to steer away from him for a while this entire season. But they called us Waldo Cabrera up. And I loved every bit of it. This is a guy who, in Shaken Baseball Savant, might be a little skewed because he just started. It's his first couple weeks in MLB. but he ranks the top of the team in contact percentage per swing. He ranks the top of the team in swing percentage. He ranks at the top of the team in exit velo. These are things that throughout time, they don't change that much. Your exit velo is your exit velo. The amount of swings the percentage that you're swinging at bat, it doesn't change that much. His launch angle doesn't change that much. His contact percentage, that's his swing. Like, he's going up there to play. He's completely confident. He doesn't care if he strikes out. He doesn't care if he pops up in the infield. He's completely confident in what he's doing. And with all these factors, a high contact percentage, a high swing percentage, a high exit velo, and a high launch angle, top of the team in launch angle so far, he's due to get really hot. He hasn't seen one go over the gate yet, and I feel as though when he does, he's a guy who runs his game on confidence, because we see he's probably one of the swaggiest players to enter New York in a while. He plays the game with a lot of charisma. It's not the same as JD, but you can't do it when you're batting .213. What are you going to bat flip if you're not hitting the ball? But Waldo Cabrera has been good. We've seen him in the Oakland Athletics series just play absolutely amazing. So I'm excited to what's to come for Waldo Cabrera. And now I'm going to transition into pitching. Now, when it comes to pitching, there's two guys I want to highlight for completely different reasons. First being Domingo Germán. I mean, without his recent pitching performances, the Yankees wouldn't even be winning the few games that they are. An incredible pitching performance against the Mets, which if it wasn't for the Oswaldo Cabrera error, which is ironic because I just raved about Oswaldo Cabrera, he would have 7 shutout innings against the Mets, who have been dominating the National League. And then we have Frankie Montas, who in his 5 starts with the Yankees has a 7 ERA, has given up 44 base runners in 25 innings, has hit 4 people and walked 7, has just been absolutely terrible. This is a guy who's supposed to be a number 2, right behind Garrett Cole, supposed to be the guy right behind him in this playoff push. And now it's looking more like Cole, Sevy, and Cortez. And we hope Frankie Montas to get back on track. Because yesterday, even though he gave 4 earned, he didn't pitch bad. His splitter looked amazing. He had one location problem with it. And what is a good hitter going to do with a splitter right down the middle? They're gonna hit it over the gate. His fastball is looking good. But he's just not pitching with confidence right now. Just no confidence whatsoever in his game. So it's going to take some time. Hopefully he can get back on track. Hopefully he can just play better. But the stuff is there. He just has to perform better. And finally, I want to talk about the Yankees bullpen and the trade acquisitions that the Yankees made, which might have saved their season. And Scotty Frost and Lou Trevino. Lou Trevino in his 10 innings with the Yankees, including a 2.1 inning save against the Blue Jays, which, like I'm saying, if it wasn't for these big performances for some of these players, the Yankees would be way worse off than they are right now. The Yankees put on 2 1/3 on him. He got the save against the Blue Jays, and his ERA with the Yankees in 10 innings has been 0.9. He's been money. And as watching Talking Yankees, which is one of my favorite podcasts, it's not like he's coming to the game a clean inning. He's coming into the game with people on base, with no out, somebody on second. And a lot of these runs are not coming in. He doesn't have too many unearned runs, and he has 1 earned. And I believe 10 1/3, 10 2/3. He's been absolutely money. And the same goes for Scott Frost. If it wasn't for the 3-run home run he let up in the 9th inning of the game where the Yankees were already down 3 runs, he would have a 0 ERA with the Yankees. And that's the thing about relievers. You can't strictly look at the ERAs. We have to look at their game logs. And Scott Frost has been money. When the Yankees were having issues with Holmes and Chapman, Frost had to come in for the save. Even though he let a couple people on base, he shut the game down. So I'm safe to say that the Yankees bullpen 7, 8, 9 looking about like Frost, Trevino, Holmes. If the Yankees continue to not have faith in Chapman, and if Loazic keeps being on and off, this is what their bullpen looks like. And I'm not too angry at it. It gives you three completely different looks. Trevino and Holmes being fairly, not fairly the same, but similar. But Frost throws it all off. So if you throw Trevino 7, Frost 8, and then Clay Holmes 9, I believe that is a very successful back of the bullpen. Another shout out to Domingo Germán, who's been an innings eater in the past couple of starts and has been completely efficient in those starts. And now, talk about Clay Holmes, He's been on and off. I believe he's been fatigued. Honestly, it's his first full season in MLB, and he's been putting the weight of being a closer for the best team in baseball, which is why I slipped a little bit. Which is why he's been recently after the All-Star break bad. I just believe he's tired. So hopefully after this 15-game stint, he's able to get his pitches back. And yesterday he looked good. He got an error in his outing, so I don't even want to look at that one. I want to look at a clean inning where everything is absolute, where hits are hits, where outs are outs, and I just want to, dissect it from there. But I hope Clay Holmes can get back on track. And I said finally in my last section, but I do have one more section I want to talk about, and it's the question marks the Yankees still have. Being Stanton, being Harrison Bader, and being Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter being the hottest hitter on the Yankees in the month of July, and before that, big pickup for the Yankees. Stanton being an MLB RBI leader before going down with his injury, and Harrison Bader being the best defensive center fielder in the MLB. These are three guys a World Series contending team wants. You want Stanton's power back. You want Matt Carpenter's, lefty bat back, who he's taken every ounce, every inch, every feet in Yankee Stadium. He has taken advantage of with that porch right there. So shout out to Matt Carpenter. Hope he can get back, but we haven't got a real update with Bader and Carpenter. So hopefully they can get back before the last week of that MLB season, because you don't want to test lineups in the playoffs. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to have a concrete 9, and you want to go from there. And then I want to give one more shot to Benintendi, who had a terrible start with the Yankees. He was one for his first 20, and now he's been hot, and now he's taken over the leadoff spot with DJ LeMay, who's slumping a little bit. So the question is, are the Yankees still World Series contenders? And my answer would be yes. Even though the Yankees have been slumping, there's only one big team that the Yankees have to face, and that's the Astros. Toronto, I believe the Yankees can get through. Tampa Bay, I believe the Yankees can get through. Once they get their players back, and once, their bullpen becomes concrete, which is in a couple weeks, the Yankees hope to have that. Then you face the Astros, which anything can happen. I mean, we've seen playoff baseball already this season when these two teams match up. I mean, it's just different. The runs per game, the ERA of pitches, it doesn't even matter. All that goes out the window when these two teams face each other. We've seen that this season. That pitchers with high ERAs played amazing. Pitchers with low ERAs got rocked. So it's literally every time these teams play, whether it's in March, April, May, June, or September or October, it's playoff baseball. So hopefully the Yankees can get through the Astros. So I do believe it's between the Yankees and the Astros right now. Because if the Yankees continue to play the way they are and they don't take over the 1 seed, they're going to play the AL Central, whoever wins the AL Central, which I believe should be an automatic win, which will bring them straight to the ALCS. So 50-50 on whether the Yankees could beat the Astros or not. But hey, man, new setup. I told y'all guys I'm going to be fixing little by little. It's going to get even better from here. All right, man, I want to get better and enhance my quality, my background, my editing. So we're going to put that to the test, because I did have some video problems trying to record this. All right, man, it's been B-Rev as always. God bless. See ya.